Okay, so I'm going to tell you right off the bat. It's working right now. The computer is. As you can tell, I've made 2 quick videos. I tried to talk as quickly as I could to get through not only how was my day, which I didn't tell you about Grandpa and the stimulus check. Some politician today, I don't know which one, he called the office and they hung up on him. Had I known which one it was, God help their soul, because my fiery temper would have went off on them. But hopefully that stimulus check does find its way to Grandpa. Anyway, the Saturday Evening Post, a special fiction edition issue here from May-June 2021. I'm going to try and cover at least 1, maybe 2 articles, and then I'm going to get my workout in, take a time out, come back, leave the computer just like it is. This is my home computer. It's an old laptop that folds open and closed. It's a 17-inch HP that I wish would work a lot better than what it does, but I'm grateful for when it does work. Right now, we're going to read The Lighter Side by Philip Gawley. It's just perfect in time for Memorial Day traditions in a small town. Each year, Mr. Hoban, a World War I veteran, would sell poppies to raise money for veterans in front of the market where I was learning to sack groceries. And we're going to read all about Mr. Philip Gawley's experience here. When I was a kid, there was 2 grocery stores in our town, Kroger and Johnston's IGA. The latter owned by Orville and Esther Johnston, who belonged to the Quaker meeting and knew all their customers by name. Kroger was headquartered in Cincinnati, 140 miles away, and didn't sponsor a Little League team or let the Boy Scouts use their parking lot for an annual ham sale or let anyone buy on credit if times were hard. So ours was Johnston's family, preferring David over Goliath. I sacked groceries there after school every weekend, taught by the master himself, Orville Johnston, for whom sacking groceries was a sacrament, a holy task, with its inviolate standards: no more than 6 cans per bag, eggs and bread on top, refrigerated frozen foods in their own sack, double bagged. If grocery bagging had been an Olympic competition, Orville would have taken the gold. After sacking the groceries, I would wheel the shopping cart to the parking lot and meticulously arrange them in the trunk of the customer's car, another art form taught to me by Orville. No detail was too small for him, no task related to sacking that didn't merit his full attention. My sacking days run together in my memory, except for the Memorial Day at the IGA, when Mr. Hoban, a veteran of World War I, would stand outside the front door selling poppies to raise money for the veterans. Mr. Hoban was my neighbor, and when I was 12, I was helping him clean his garage. He gave me his winter sleeping bag from his army days. I have no idea how the Allies won that war, having to shoot people while lugging around a 50-pound sleeping bag, but such are the mysteries of war. I had my questions about the war, which Mr. Hoban was loath to answer, preferring to talk about the flowers that populated his yard. I assumed his poppy selling was related to his love for flowers, and didn't realize the association with a remembrance until I mentioned it to my dad, that Mr. Hoban was selling poppies, and he told me why. Then he gave me a book by Ernie Pyle essays to read. Though the stories were different from conflicts, their bleakness were the same, so I decided to become a Quaker to stop the war, but have been unsuccessful since they continued unabated. Sometimes I try to not take it personally. It seems odd in my mind that sacking of groceries is connected to Memorial Day, but that's what living in a small town will do for you. One memory inspires another, until a simple walk through the town is not so much a venture in its exercise as it is a stroll through a picture album when Mr. Hoban died 40 years ago. But every time I walk past his house, I think of the war and the importance of double bagging frozen food. Every Memorial Day, the American Legion in our town visits its graveyard in the country, marking the graves of the veterans lest we forget. Our Legion includes a member whose father fought for Mussolini during World War II, which is to say against us, but that was 3/4 of a century ago, and tempers have cooled. Is it to America's credit that not long after fighting a country, we are often rebuilding it and forming alliances and exchanging high school students in exchange, if we forgave one another so readily, if we only forgave one another so readily. Mr. Hoban lies in the Crown Hill Cemetery along his wife. The IGA is now a mower zone, and the Sacker boys won't load your groceries in your car, but the men and women of the Legion still persist, holding high their torch of tribute. Philip Gawley is a Quaker pastor, author of 22 books, including the Harmony and Hope series featuring Sam Gardner. The next section that I picked out, I'm going to skip over. It was a good section, but because the computer's acting up, I've decided against it because it's so long-winded. Let's see here. Let's do this one. The logophile. To mull over a problem is a perpetuate person that will probably A, go for a walk, B, talk to herself, or C, eat. Again, to mull, number your paper 1 to 3. There's only 3 questions. To mull over a problem, is it A, to go for a walk, B, to talk to herself, or C, eat? I'm going to go say B, talk to herself. Okay, next one. Your voice is created through vibration of your, is it A, vocal cords, spelled C-H-O-R-D-S, or is it B, vocal cords, like C-O-R-D-S? I'm going to go with C-O-R-D-S, number B. What characteristic do impartial, reasonable, festival, and attractive all have in common? Again, what characteristic do impartial, reasonable, festival, and attractive all have in common? I'm going to say that they are all fair. Okay, it says to see the answers on page 96, so let's go to page 96. Okay. A is the first answer, and it's wrong because I chose B, so it should be A. So 1 is A, 2 is B, I got that right, and 3, they're all synonyms of being fair. Well, I'll give myself that one too. So 2 out of 3 is awesome. Okay. 3 questions with William McRaven, the retired admiral, on why we need heroes more today, more than ever. In stressful times, we long for real-life heroes without capes or superpowers to help keep us going. Admiral William McRaven, a 37-year Navy SEAL, organized the special ops raid that led to the killing of Osama bin Laden, and is also the author of the book Sea Stories, My Life in Special Operations. Now retired, the 4-star admiral insists that we can create the heroes we need in his book, The Hero Code. He shows us the qualities it takes to be an everyday hero and how to develop them. Courage, humility, integrity, hope, duty, and even humor are learnable, he says. Jeanne Wolfe. How do we start it at a very young age, sending out the message that there is sort of a code, a standard that you should have for yourself? Admiral William McRaven. Most of the people I know have learned these traits. The whole point of the Hero Code is that these qualities are teachable. Sometimes you can read them in a book, but of course they have a lot more power, and people can internalize them more when they actually meet people who put them into action. I was fortunate enough to be exposed to and inspired by a lot of people in my career. It's not what they say, it's what they do. It's always about their actions, and sometimes it's about what they don't do. Jeanne Wolfe. You say that kindness, compassion, a sense of duty, and forgiveness are all essential to the code. War is rough. Why aren't you more bitter and disillusioned? Admiral William McRaven. I have seen horrors that war can bring out the worst in us, but I also have seen the very, very best of mankind. There's a generosity and a sense of sacrifice the heroes have without wanting a lot of attention. They also give themselves every day. A hero is anybody who does the right thing when they could do otherwise. Superman really does not exist. Wonder Woman does not exist, but we still gain inspiration from the qualities that they have in them. Jeanne Wolfe. Aren't some people just born with more fortitude and abilities? Admiral William McRaven. There's no doubt about that. Some are just naturally braver, naturally more courageous and stronger. The point of the code is that this is teachable. It's a mindset to be followed to make you a better person. Real heroes are not perfect people, but that doesn't mean that they have some qualities that they aren't aspects that we should work hard to emulate. What makes a hero is the ability to overcome struggles, including their own. We all have challenges. Everyone is going to stumble. You have to look at the totality of the human being. Draw upon their best talents. If you're looking for that perfect hero out there, you're going to be looking for a long time. Jeanne Wolfe is the Post West Coast editor. To read the complete interview, go to SaturdayEveningPost.com/McRaven, McRaven. There's a beautiful little girl here. She's 8 years old, and she's a hero kid. She's a bracelet bounty. When Haley Orlinsky, 8 years old, learned that the doctors and nurses were running short of personal protective equipment, PPE, she decided to use her skills at making friendship bracelets to raise money. Her goal was $200. By late February, she raised more than $45,000 from sales over 11,000 bracelets. All of the funds have gone to Ann and Robert H. Luthers, the Children's Hospital, for goggles, gloves, masks, and face shields. I would tell other kids, if there's something you are good at and you enjoy doing it, sell your masterpieces and donate the money to a cause that is important to you. Gail Schroback Hennessy. You can order Haley's bracelets at foundation.lurie children's childrens.org /go to Haley's HAYLEYS BRACELETS. That's wonderful. Okay. Let's see here. They have some really nice ideas here that I wish I could share with you. But one of these is strawberry bath bombs. Then they have fun with food, which is dirt cups, which I'm sure the kids would enjoy making that. And longing for faraway places, which we're not going to cover that now, so we'll take that one out. I'm trying to see what's more important, what's not important. Okay, we're going to stop there for right now, which is a good stopping point. And we'll pick back up at page 80. I'm going to go put a tank top on, boogie woogie a little bit, then I'll come back and hopefully this thing still be working with you. So we'll see what happens.